Hey, Bison Band. Today we're going to be talking about the rhythm performance set at the hard difficulty level. Now, this is going to be applicable to several different levels, so make sure that you check the individual number that you need to complete and the errors allowed on your level that you are on. So it may not be the same that you see here. Let's go ahead and start and take a look. Now, the first thing, as always, we're going to need to calibrate our drum pads. So the first way we do this is this first exercise is not for credit. It's just to line up what your clicking does with the sound coming out of your computer. So wait 4 clicks, and then tap, 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 tap. Okay, now that I'm calibrated, now in hard mode, what you're going to see is that you are going to have quarter notes, which are worth 1 beat. Now, there aren't any here, but if this was a hollow note, you'd have half notes, which are worth 2 beats, or whole notes that could take up the whole measure. And where the hard mode gets more of its challenge from is you're going to start to have dotted quarter notes, which are worth 1.5 beats. So you can think about a dotted quarter note like a quarter note plus an eighth note. Right, quarter note plus an eighth note, 1.5 beats. Or you're also going to have some eighth notes that are all by themselves. And when you see these, what you need to be thinking is that these are going to start on the and instead of on the beat. So when you're doing the rhythm performance on hard, it's going to be really important that you count using eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Because this note here is on the and that comes after 2. This note here is on the and that comes after 2. Here's how I know that. This quarter note takes up beat 1, and then the and after 1. And then, right here, you have a dot. That's an extra eighth note. This dot is beat 2. Then this is the and that comes after. The and is the second eighth note of each beat. So that's really important here. So when I click, I'm going to click on beat 1, and then the next time I click, I'm going to click on the and that comes after 2. This tie right here, this is another thing you're going to see in hard. Ties connect notes together so that they are now one note. So I don't clap or I don't click for this note here because of the tie. So the next time I click after that and of 2 is going to be on beat 4. Then here we go again. I'm going to click on beat 1 for this measure. The and of 2, not going to click here. This is beat 4. This is the and that comes after 4. So when I perform this, it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's how I would practice this. If you want to practice these like I am before you try it, that's a really good idea. You could also have some scratch paper out and you can write the beats and the ands above this, and that's going to help you eliminate some of the errors. So if you're having trouble with errors stacking up on these, practice them before you do them. So here we go. Let's try this with the drum pad here. And remember, you got 4 clicks before you start. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's so important that you're counting as you're doing this. I'm counting out loud. You should either be counting out loud or in your head the same way that I am. Now, let's take a look at this before we add it in. I have a quarter note. I'm going to click on beat 1, click on beat 2. Tie means I'm not going to click on beat 3, but I am going to click on 4 and then and. Click on beat 1, then I have to click immediately again on the and this is a little bit tricky because this is going to go all the way until the and that comes after beat 3. So this note here is on beat 3, this is on the and. So when I count and clap this, it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And again, make sure you say your counts while you perform or clap this. Let's try it with the beat. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you're working through this and you're having trouble with errors stacking up, remember, practice them before you do them. You can count and clap them before you start. You can also go through and use your hints. Now, there are only one hint on here. Since we're on hard, I'll give you one to help, but you need to use the hint wisely as you're doing this to get you through one. The other thing that you can do is use a pencil and scratch pad and write the beats into the rhythm yourself so you know exactly when you're clapping and when you're not. If you get up to above 10 errors, remember it's really important that you stop, you submit that best effort, and then you go back and try it again. If you need help with this, please visit office hours or send me an email.